Hi everyone, welcome to Tom's Manshed. Right, it's a bit of a weird one this, because have you ever had anything happen to you and then when you come to show somebody, a friend or whatever, it's not doing it, it's working perfectly? Well, this is that thing. I've got a MG4 EV, and part of the features that attracted me to it, in fact I won't buy an EV car without this, is the V2L, the vehicle to load. Now, I've documented my sort of like journey with V2L. I've had the car. It was one of the very first batch of MG4s. I got it in November last year, November 2022. It's now January 2024. And very early on getting it, within weeks of getting it, I bought one of these V2L adapters from eBay. You plug it in to the charge socket of the car, which is also a discharge socket, and it converts the voltage of the car into mains voltage, UK mains voltage, or wherever you are, and you can run things like lawn mowers and stuff like that off it. But I've documented, I'm not going to go into great detail on it here because I've documented sort of like my journey with VTL. I'll put a link up here. I've done, to at least one of the videos, I've done about at least three videos on V2L. So just search on my site for V2L and it'll go through using this. And then later when I stopped using this and put a proper, like a charge cord plug on it, a hefty wire to the garage and then into the shed with a changeover switch, all the right gauge. The total consumption of my shed where I'm sat now, and I'm on V2L now as I'm recording this, with my light, the internal lights, my heater behind me, with everything on at the same time, and the TV and the printer, which I never run all them. It's only a total load of about 2.3 kilowatts. So it's absolutely fine. It's quite a low load. But what I do is I heat the shed up from the car, which I've charged up on cheap rate electric, 7.5 pence per kilowatt hour, for 6 hours on Octopus Agile at night, and then the following day I can plug in the V2L lead, run the shed for about 3 or 4 days off the car. So like I said, that's documented on the link above and the links at the end. And it's been working great, absolutely great. I've never noticed a discrepancy. But about these last sort of 3 times or so, what I've noticed is I've been checking on the MG app regularly while I'm sat in here at night or whatever. And I've also checked in the car. Sorry for the lumpy editing you might notice as well, because I've got a bit of a cough, so I've got to keep editing them out. But yeah, and I've sort of thought, oh right, the car's down to like 40%. I've run it sort of 3 days, run the shed 3 days off the car, it's down to 40%. We'll plug it in and charge it up. And then when I've come to plug it in and it started charging, it suddenly shot down about another 10% or so, or 10-15% to sort of like 25%. I thought, that's weird. A minute ago it was showing that. And it isn't just the app. I put a question on the forum. Somebody says, yeah, the app doesn't always connect and it might be showing the last reading. Yeah, I realise that. It works about half the amount of times I try it, this app, although the past 2 days it's been behaving itself. But I've checked in the car and it was the same there. It sort of leaped down from at the end of the discharge sort of period to when I plug the charger in, and I've unlocked it and I've locked it and plugged the charger in, it seemed to suddenly drop. So I thought I'll document that and show you the discrepancy in it doing it. So I started 3 days ago. It's now Thursday. I started Tuesday morning. I charged it up to 100%. I usually only charge it to about 80 and then the odd 100 once a month to do the battery balancing. Although I believe from stuff I've read recently, it will do battery balancing even at 60, 80 at the end of the charge. But when it first came out, it said it only did it at 100%. So I'll do that about thing. But I've charged it up to 100% for the purpose of this video. And I did that Monday night. So Tuesday morning, it was 100%. And I started filming the full procedure. Plugging the V2L lead in, switching it over in the garage to power the shed. I filmed the temperatures, the start time. I've documented how many hours the shed was on, the heater and the stuff in the shed was on, how many kilowatts it used during that time for the 2 days. The second day, I left it on a lot longer. Last night, I left the heater on all night, which I don't normally do, to use a few more kilowatts so that I can sort of start with quite a low reading this morning. And I've done all that, and it's worked perfectly. It hasn't done that discrepancy from unplugging the V2L lead to locking it, unlocking it, waiting 10 minutes, doing it, and nipping to Lidl's and back, plugging the discharger back in and the charge lead and things, and trying everything. It's held at what, there's been no discrepancy. It's stayed at what it said it was at the end, as you'll see. So, like I said, that's what the video was going to be about, showing you this little glitch that can happen, just to warn you that if you are using V2L, or it might have been nothing to do with V2L, it might have been just, the state of charge with the car up the drive for 2 or 3 days doing nothing, then you plug your charger in and it was going to drop. I thought that might be relevant, and I thought it might have happened to some people. But no, as you'll see, everything has worked like a dream. It's the figures it gave after the full 48 hours, 2 full days discharge stayed exactly the same, whether I'd got the car locked, unlocked, waited 10 minutes, plugged the charger in, went to Lidl's, whatever. It stayed at that, it didn't alter. So if you were just interested in seeing this glitch and it might have happened to you, no, I haven't got a solution. You may as well turn off now. But if you just want to carry on watching, I can show you the V2L procedure. I'll show you how many kilowatts my shed uses and what that corresponds to in percentage state of charge of the car, and how you can run it for 2-3 days, no problem at all, off the car between charges. So if you want to have a look at that, by all means, you're welcome. Carry on watching. Like I say, if you just want to watch a fault, turn off now, because it's going to be a total waste of half an hour of your life. So, yeah. So let's get on with it now. This is the first bit I filmed after fully charging it to 100% on the Monday night. This was the first bit I filmed on Tuesday morning, so let's take it from there. You can see it's 11:33 on that. So I'm now I'll turn the lights off in here. I shall now go into the garage. And what I normally do is, that's a changeover switch, change it from mains, I just put it into the middle to the off position. I'll now walk to the car. So as you can see, it's still plugged into the charger from last night. So I'm going to unlock it, unplug that, and put it back there. And I always like to just shut the thing, lock it again, and then unlock it. And this time I'll plug the discharging lead in. Okay, so that's that plugged in. So I'll go in the car. Okay, you can see now we're in the car. It's showing 100% on here. So if I click discharging, sorry, click, make sure we're on the discharge setting. Takes a while to come on sometimes. Right, discharging. So if we click start, so you can see that says preparing. and it's now gone on to stop. So we are now discharging via the V2L, and you can see 100%. Don't know what it is. It's not very good at autofocusing this camera on 4K, but we're 100% there, and you can see the, again, 11:36, Tuesday the 23rd of January. It's saying it's 7 degrees outside. Again, 100% charge. So we'll now lock it, and that will run for at least 2 or 3 days to the shed. So if we whiz it over now, as you'll see, at the moment the shed is totally off of power, nothing is lit up. That light is a battery light, but you can see the PC itself isn't lit up or anything. If we go over now to V2L, again, it's not focusing at all well. Try a bit of light. So you can see we're on V2L now, so it's running off the thing. We're on, I'm going to reset that. So I've got the watt meter on, we're at 0 watts now. Well, 46 watts, all the sort of ancillaries in the shed, camera and things are running, so it's up to 47 watts. You can see we're on now, the PC lights are on. So if we turn the main lights on, so they're on now, and if I turn the heater on, this is what I usually do, put it on full blast, put both on, and you can see the red lights are lit up. You can see they're glowing now. And if we go into the shed, again, time check, 11:38. Go into the garage, we will see. We're going to function. We're running now at just bear with me, I'm trying to look at this at a strange angle. There, at the moment we're on 1.896 kilowatts, so 1.8 kilowatts, because that's using, you can see at the top that's how long we've been running, 1 minute 49:50 seconds. And if we go on to total used, and we'll leave it at that. Right. So that's the kilowatt hours we've been running, that it's used so far, 0.04 after 2 minutes. So we're going to come back to that in, we'll check it in a day, exactly a day from now, and we'll check it in 2 days and see how many kilowatts the shed has used in that time. And just to show you one final time check, we're at 11:40. So we'll come back, as I just said, in, like I say, a couple of days is the best sort of like demo to give you, but I will check the consumption of what the shed has used after 1 day and 2 days. So if I come back at sort of like 11:40ish on Thursday, I'll run it all day today, Tuesday, and all day tomorrow, Wednesday, and we'll see how much the car is reporting the battery is down to, and we'll see how many kilowatts we've used, and then I'll show you it won't be a true measure, because once I've unplugged the discharger, relocked it and sort of like booted the car, you'll see that charge drop vastly. So I'll catch you up in a day and 2 days. So as you saw there, it was showing about 1.9 kilowatts usage. Now again, in my other videos, I go into more detail of that. The V2L actually supplies voltage at about 220, not 240. So even though this is a 2 kilowatt heater behind me, with both switches on and the thermostat up full, it would normally be consuming 2 kilowatts, but it's more like 1.8, 1.9. But as you saw there, the lights and the heater, about 1.9. If I have my PC on, that adds about 200 watts. If I have the TV on, that's under 100 watts. You can see it's well within the capacity of the car, so I'm not overloading the shed at all. So it's totally isolated from the mains with the changeover switch. The lead going from the V2L to the shed, again, it's all in the previous video, have a look at that. It's a hefty 2.5mm cable. It's left permanently unwound. There's no coil left on that reel. The only reason I've got that there is if I went on holiday and left the house empty, I can reel that cable in, but it's left out all the time. Probably won't be using it in summer when I'm not having the heating on. For the lights and the TV and the PC, it's not really worth it. So I'll probably reel it up in summer. But during winter, when I'm using it every day, I'll leave it out. So yeah, well within the capabilities of the car, and we'll see, because I just put, like I say, I put it on when I get into the shed in the morning and it's cold. I put it on full with the thermostat on full to get the room up to temperature quick, and then I just have one heater on one section, and I just have the thermostat on like 1.5, 2, maintaining a temperature of 22, 23 degrees, and you'll see how little, about half a kilowatt, it takes to keep the shed warm. So let's have a look now after I've used it. Typical thing, I went to bed, like I say, you saw what time it came on then. I went to bed about 2 in the morning. It was on all that time, and then at 2 in the morning I turned the heater off, lock the shed up, go to bed. Let's have a look the following day how much it's used. Okay, so this is 24 hours later, roughly 24 hours anyway. You can see it's now Wednesday, 10:51. I think it was about 11ish, was it? 11:10, 11:20 yesterday. So within half an hour of 24 hours. Inside temperature of the shed is still 14. It's now 10 to 11, and I went to bed last night, or this morning, at about 2 a.m. So it was on all that time, the heater. It's returned that heat. Outside it's quite mild, 9 degrees. First of all, we'll see if the app works. And we'll go into this at the end of the video, this app. But it's pretty flaky half the time. Decides not to work. So let's see if it worked earlier on when I tried it. So it should do now. But it's showing. Oops. Where are we? Get it right. Well, it's showing 82% battery. Just double click on that. So yeah, 82%. So let's go and check it at the car. Check how much power I've used. So I had it on for about 14 hours. That's running the heater, sometimes the PC, sometimes the TV. I would say I had the PC on about 5 hours yesterday, and the rest of the time was the TV.
And if you can see it on here, the total kilowatt consumption is 9.6. You can see that. 9.6 kilowatts it's used. So 82%, so it's 18% equates to 9.6 kilowatts. So I'm just going to go to the cart just to double check that reading was okay. Unlock it. Okay, so I'm sat in it, keys are in my pocket. I've clicked as if I'm ready to go. And you can see there, 82% charge. And again, 82%. So the app was working. So let's give it another 24 hours, see how much it runs down then.
So you can see there it used, in that 24-hour period, 24-hour-ish period, it used 9.6 kilowatts. Now remember, in that 24-hour period, the heater was only on for 14 hours. When I say on, I mean switched on. It's not consuming for that because it clicks in and out at the stat. So for 14 and a half-ish hours while I was in the shed watching TV, being on the PC with the heater was on. And after that, when I went to bed at 2 o'clock, the only things that were left were the Tapo camera behind me Alexa show thingy, Echo show or whatever, the PC on standby.
I can help you shop for everyday items. Try saying things like, Alexa, order AA batteries, or reorder paper towels.
Sorry about that. I'll turn it off. It's awkward when somebody says Alexa in it. So yeah, just a few little sort of ancillaries, the things that used power on standby. So you can see, pretty cheap to heat the shed all that time. Now the next day, I used it a lot more on purpose. I left the heater on all night. So I wouldn't normally do that, but I just wanted to use a few more kilowatts to have a slightly different reading. Also, during that day, I used my 3D printer for a while. I ran the PC longer than I did the telly probably, and that uses more power. So I did purposely. I had the room warmer than I normally would, so I could have saved a lot by economising. Sometimes I even sort of like sit under a heated throw, which is dead cosy in here, but I wanted to use really sort of quite a lot of power. So let's see how much we used in the second 24-hour period, bearing in mind the heater was on all of that period, and some other stuff as well.
Okay, as you can see now, it is now Thursday at 11:18 a.m. and I've left the heat, as I just explained, I've left the heating on all night in this room, just to use a bit more power up to show you. So as you can see, the temperature there is a nice cosy 20 degrees as I walked in here this morning. So we'll just go on the app again, see if it's working. Whoops. Like I said, it was a minute ago when I just checked it. Try it again. It's behaving quite well at the moment, this. Most of the half the time it doesn't work. And 53%. So let's go in the garage now. Raining overnight, but it's dry now. And as you can see here, so we're getting focus. You can see at the moment we're on 1 day, 23 hours, 40 minutes. So near enough 2 full days, 48 hours, and we've used 24 kilowatts, 24.03, so almost 30 kilowatts. So 24 kilowatts in 20 minutes, it will be 48 hours. So it's about an average of half a kilowatt a day, because it is a well insulated shed. So let's walk to the car now. See if it's showing 52. It should be. Whoops, hang on. Got my keys. You can see we're discharging. So I'll unlock it. And sure enough, there we're at 53% on there, 53% there. So I'm now going to unlock it, take the discharging cord out, lock it again, see if it alters, and then plug the charging lead in and do the same. See time there, time check 11:21 on 11:22, Thursday the 25th. So I'm going to lock it. Oh, hang on. Bear with me. We didn't stop it discharging, did we? That's why I couldn't unplug it. So, go on to the discharging, click stop. Right, that's gone to start now, so we can unplug it. So, I'll unplug that. Lock the car. And I'm just going to turn the camera off, because I'm going to give it sort of like 5 minutes or so.
Okay, so I've just cut the video there because it was at this stage that I was going to demonstrate the discrepancy. What I was expecting and what has happened, like I said, the past sort of like 3 times or so, was I was showing that reading there, the same on the app and on the car, and what I was expecting it to be. But then as soon as I unplugged the discharge, the V2L cable, and started like locking the car, waiting or whatever, plugging the charging lead in, that's when it dropped. And that's what I was going to show you happening now. But of course, like I said, it decided to play really nice and everything was working great. So as you'll see from here, this is what I thought. I don't believe it. What's the point in filming all this when it's working as it should? So right, we'll catch up now, and then I'll give a final summing up after this.
Okay, it's been about 3 or 4 minutes now since I unplugged the discharging lead, the V2L lead. So I'm going to re-unlock it and just check what it says. It still says 53. I guarantee now it's not going to work. It's going to work perfectly. And I've done all this picking video filming of it. So I'm going to lock it again and plug the charging lead in. Okay, I've got the charging lead plugged in this time. I'm just going to set it up on my OHME. Right, so the car is now charging. This is a first for me, charging it at full 30 pence daytime rate, just to show you on this video. I only ever charge after 11:30 when it's 7.5p. So we're going to unlock it, just see what it shows on the battery now. So it shows here charging stopped, which it shouldn't do. Just bear with me while I look at the OHME app. Okay, yeah, I'd turned it off on the OHME app, so you can see we're charging now. According to the phone, we've put 1 mile in it so far, and it's showing on the screen what it should be showing. Still at 53%, slow charging. Hopefully that should shoot up to like 54% very soon. I'll just fast forward this bit. Okay, so it's a few minutes later now, and yeah, everything is working fine. It's, oh god, it's, what do they call it, Sod's Law, Murphy's Law, whatever. Spent 2 days filming this video, and to show you the fault it's done twice, and it's worked absolutely perfectly. You can see it's put 4 miles worth of range in it now. That's on the OHME app. And it's gone up 1% to 54. Even the MG app is still working at the moment. And if we refresh it, yep, look at that, working every time now. Most of the time it's about 50%. So yeah, 54 there. 54 there. That's just shot up to 5 miles it's put in it. Alright, so we'll call it a day at the filming because everything is working perfectly.
So there you go. As I said, it's as we say up here in the north of England, it's Sod's Law. When you're expecting to show somebody not working, it works just as it should. So don't know what them glitches were, why it did it that time, I don't know. Hopefully it won't do it again. I mean, it's no massive detriment, as long as you're just aware, but I didn't want anybody to see using the V2L for, say, a couple of days camping, running a little electric heater in your tent and your TV and your router or whatever, and you think you've discharged it so much, and then you find out it's lower. But no, it's working fantastic at the moment. So now I'll just add this bit at the end because a lot of people will ask what software I'm on. So I filmed this earlier on. You'll see the software I'm on, and it is a very early version of the Carman. It's got the eye sensor. I'll show you that the driver's sensor, which they did away with. It's disconnected that now because it was so much trouble bleeping constantly. So they did that straight away, and I don't even think they're fitted to the current batch of cars. One of the very early ones, and you'll see it's an early software I've got, and I've also got the original the heater screen. I'm very, very reluctant to update any software while it's working okay, because Charlie MG took 3 visits to sort software out. They kept telling me it was sorted, and it wasn't. Nothing was being done, and they had to actually come to my house to press a few buttons, which I could have done myself with a bit of research. Since then, I've been very, very wary about having any software updates done that I don't particularly need, because more often than not, it's worse after the update than before. So I'll show you the versions I've got now. So you can see there the entertainment system version, R33. So that's quite an early one. Don't know what that means anything either telecommunication versions, a Snack P18E32. But yeah, you can see I've still got the original display for the heating and ventilation. That hasn't been updated. And to show it's a very early model, mine. This bit here, that was a monitor that monitored the driver for like falling asleep at the wheel or whatever. Bleeped when it thought you weren't looking at the road or you were dozing off or whatever. That has been disconnected, and that isn't even fitted to the next batch of cars. So yeah, that's the versions I've got. So there you have it. At the moment it is working fantastic, and like I say, if it does glitch again, I will be aware and double check that the state of charge is as it should be. So if you've had anything similar, let me know in the comments. If you've got an explanation, let me know. But like I say, at the moment it is working great. Now, one thing you may have noticed on the MG iSmart app, and as I've shown you through this, it worked great every time. It must have known I was going to do this video or something, because I would say about 50% of the time this does not connect with the car. When they changed this to this new software, MG iSmart, there was an update recently for it. The first day was terrible. Nobody could connect. It was absolute rubbish. And then the following day they brought out a thing, and it's been better since then. But it's still very flaky, apart from what you've seen in this video. Watch this now. 10 minutes ago, it wouldn't connect. Watch this. It knows I'm doing this video, and it's going to connect on it any money. So, right, let's have a look. So, I don't know whether you can see it. It's trying. And it's nothing to do with my phone or anything like that. Every other app I've got for controlling all my Wi-Fi lights and appliances, all the Tapo stuff, if I just say, sorry, I've got it turned off now, but if I just say, Alexa, do this, Alexa, do that, they all work perfectly every time. This, what have we got? Oh, a message showed up then. I don't have it at the right angle to show you. It said something like digital key not connected or something, but you can see it's not working again. I'll close it down, restart it, show you in real time. Just drag that to the bottom. Try that. See if I can get the message this time. Yeah, it's a pretty rubbish reliability software. I know some people watching this will say, mine connects every time. Well, great, I'm glad it does for you. But quite a lot of us struggle. Well, the service is not available, please try again later. You know, to do with servers or whatever in China. But yeah, it's not brilliant. And like I say, every other app I've got on my phone connects all the time. I don't have that trouble with anything else. My CCTV, every single time I try it, perfect. But what I was going to say was, I don't know whether you noticed earlier on, but while it was working and it was giving you all your pressure of your tyres and everything, it said for the voltage of the battery, and that's the 12-volt battery in the car, while it was on discharge on V2L, it showed as 14.1 volts. Now, that's what it shows when it's charging. So whenever you're charging your car, be it at home, on your granny charger, or out and about on a rapid charger, it also charges your 12-volt battery. It's putting 14 volts into that. Well, it also showed that while it is discharging, connected to V2L. Now, I've never actually checked that. I wouldn't have thought it would while it's discharging the main traction battery. I wouldn't have thought it'd have charged the thing. But if it does, that's good, because all the time I'm on discharge, the 3 days or whatever I've got the shed connected between charges, it is keeping the 12-volt battery topped up as well. That's what it shows on the app. So I'm going to check that, and I'm going to do another short video, and it will be short, don't worry, because that's all it's going to be about, just to show you. And I'm going to get my voltmeter and check that it is putting 14.1 volts into it, into the 12-volt battery on the car while it is on V2L mode. So I'm going to check that. It's raining again at the moment, so I'm going to check that probably tomorrow or the next day. Do a little video of that if you're interested. So yeah, hopefully, like I say, it's been of some interest. It's, how long is it now? About another 35, 40-minute video. So I'm sorry about wasting 40 minutes of your life watching this just to find out that everything works. But I did warn you at the beginning. But hopefully it's give you some insight out to how long you can run a nice little, like I say, I love it in here. I use my house for going to the toilet, for cooking my meals. Cooking meals means microwaving some beans and a baked potato or something like that. And going to bed. Toilet, bed, shower, bath, and meals. That is it. Rest of the time I'm in here, apart from when I'm out at my pub quizzes. So yeah, love it in here. Dead well insulated, really, really cheap to run. And look at all that. So what did it use? It used 24 kilowatts, using it madly in 48 hours. 24 kilowatts at 7.5 pence per kilowatt. Hang on. Let me get a calculator up. Yeah, if we call it, say, an average day, like the first day I measured, when it had used about 10 kilowatts, that's my sort of average usage of it in winter, with the heater on for, 14 hours, watching TV and that. So if we said like 10 kilowatts per day in winter to keep nice and snug and warm and be on the PC and watch TV, at 7.5 pence per kilowatt hour, that makes it 75 pence per day I'm using in electric during the winter. Now, if I was running the shed off the mains in winter, that would be £3. It'd be 4 times that much, as 30 pence per kilowatt hour day rate. Now that's a big difference, £3 a day, 10 days, 30 quid. You add that up over a year, it's a big chunk when it's sort of like limited income, smallish pension that I'm on. So yeah, it does make a big difference to me. Like I say, summer, I won't be bothering too much. It's not going to be worth doing it for the amount of electric I'm consuming here. Plus I'll be out and about a lot more during the day anyway. So it's worth considering, and hopefully it's been of some use just showing you that. So I shall catch you for the next video. I'll do that little measurement of the battery input voltage on V2L. That'll be coming up soon. I've also bought a dental flosser, a water jet flosser from Lidl's. I'll be doing a review of that soon. And I've still got the seat cover thing to do behind. So loads more in the pipeline. I will eventually get around to them. Hope to catch you for one of them soon. If you haven't subscribed already and you do want to, click the little picture of the shed here on the left, then click the bell icon underneath, and you'll be informed of any new uploads. Please give me a thumbs up if it's been of any use, thumbs down if it hasn't, and either way, thanks for watching. Catch you for the next one. Bye for now.